Get up, guys. Let's wait for some people. We're gonna wait a little bit before we start. Wait a little bit before we start. Like a good 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I think we might do roamer tier list, maybe. Roamer or mid? Roamer or mid? Yeah, we might do roamer or mid tier list. No XP lane. We did that yesterday, Sam. You need to check out the previous stream. We did that yesterday. It was the very first thing. It was the very first thing. XP lane yesterday. Today we're gonna do roamer and mid, maybe. Probably roamer first, because there's like a lot of options for roamer. A lot of possibilities for roamer, I think. Yeah. But I'm gonna like trim and clip, cause I did XP yesterday, guys. Like I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post my live stream from yesterday and just trim it, or not trim, but like clip it, just clip it. But I recorded it yesterday and it took like an hour and 10 minutes for me to finish a whole tier list. I don't even know if you guys are gonna watch the whole hour. But there's like explanations in between whenever I choose like a specific hero. We talked about like each and every hero, why they're that tier and stuff like that, why they're lower, why they're higher, and it's an hour of that. So I don't even know if you guys are gonna watch that. Like, do people just want me to just put my tier list, people want to see it, and they're done? Cause an hour is like for a tier list. Or maybe I'll probably record myself talking about a specific tier list ahead of time. Like, I already made a tier list and I'm just gonna talk about like each hero a little bit faster than what I did yesterday. Because yesterday it was, you know, I was kind of collaborating with you guys. Yeah, I was collaborating with you guys. Yeah, I was collaborating with you guys with what's it called? Whether this hero is gonna be like higher, sub 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it took like an hour for me. If you watched yesterday's stream, the jungler tier list took like maybe 30 to 40 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, somewhere there. But the XP lane tier list, there's a lot of fighters in the game, so that took me like an hour and 10 minutes to finish, which is which is not good. Tier list for RG, just in general, I think 4, 5, 6. Hero tier S, what coach? Well, you'll see. Wait, we're gonna start in a little bit. We're gonna start. I'm gonna make it in front of you guys so you guys know. Today we're gonna do roamer and probably mid laner or gold. Because yesterday I did XP and I did jungle. Yeah, I did jungle yesterday. And then we're gonna go through all the heroes one by one, and then we're just gonna figure out where they belong, pretty much. Okay. Anyways, I think we could start, I think. Alright, so we'll do the roamer tier list. I think the roamer tier list is gonna take a really long time because there's like a lot of possible options, right? A lot of possible options for the roamer tier list. Jesus, I think I have allergies. Wait, let me drink water. Subsizes. Hello, hello. Anyways, I think we can start it off. Alright, I think for the first roamer we have Akai, okay? So Akai is like a big flex. Definitely a pretty good roamer. You can engage, but most of the time you're kind of more on a counter engage and protect type of hero. You usually pick Akai when there's a Tigreal on the other team to counter Tigreal. He's like a anti-Tigreal hero. I think Akai is like a good A. He's not really picked, but the good thing about Akai is when you're a roamer Akai, you can actually leash pretty well with the second skill of Akai and just kind of speed up your jungler's farm. So that's pretty good also. The problem with Akai is the high cooldown on his ulti. So if he doesn't have ulti, he's kind of useless like for the rest of the team fight. He only has a knockup and he has his basic attack on his second to do some decent damage, which is HP based. So I think Akai is pretty good. He's like decent. He's A. He's not often picked in the meta right now, but yeah, not bad. Alright, so we'll go to the next one, Angela. Okay, so Angela is like super situational, I think. So there's only a couple heroes that you could use Angela with. Alright, so the main heroes are gonna be Ling, of course. The first one's Ling, and then there's you could do Leomord or Joy. Joy you could also do. So the bad part about Angela, I think she's gonna be in A. Alright, I mean, she's good with the good synergy, but like the bad thing about her is you guys are not gonna have a front line. Like imagine a Ling and then you have an Angela roam and then a mage and then your only front line is the XP. In most cases your XP is the only one that's gonna be a front line, so it's not gonna be enough. He's probably gonna get bursted by himself, and you don't have any other counter engage if that XP laner gets caught. Because you have a Ling or a Joy, and so it's like very, very hard to, like conditionally, like draft condition wise, she's kind of hard to draft as a roamer. I would say she's more fit as a mage, like a position 4. Alright, so Angela would be A, I would say. She's still pretty good, especially if your Ling or Joy gets really fed, but you're kind of screwed, like if you play Angela with like only one tank laner, only one XP laner that's tanky, alright? And sometimes your XP laner is not even tanky. In solo queue, they would play Zilong freaking XP, right? Or Benedetta XP. They just want damage. So anyways, Angela can't provide vision. Yeah, that's definitely right. Alright, next, Arlot. Alright. So Arlot used to be able to roam, but now he's not as good. I think he's still pretty decent against Mathilda, but other than that, he's kind of bad. I think it's because of his laning. Like his early levels are kind of weak, but his cooldowns are really good and he's really good on team fights. The problem with him is, yeah, his laning early game, and the early game and the first turtle is so important in the meta that he's really not that or as good as before. Mainly only picked with against Mathilda usually. Khaleed destroys you at mid as a roam. Tigreal destroys you if you go in. Who else? Who are possible roams right now? You can even go against an Edith roam and Edith could crowd control you. Who else are meta roams? Cho is good against Arlot. So, and in terms of vision, he's not that tanky, to be honest with you. He is not that tanky. He might be like a B, to be honest. Might be a B. Yeah, a B. Or, I mean, Angela might be a B as well. To be honest with you, these two might be a B. And I think Akai is better than both of those two, in my opinion. Alright, so for the next one, we have Atlas. For Atlas, I think I'm gonna go A. Atlas is still viable, especially if the enemy team has like an Alpha only, or like a Fredrin on their team. Or like if their marksman is not that versatile. Like for example, even Granger, Atlas has trouble against Granger. I mean, Granger has trouble against Atlas. I'm sorry. So he needs to take Purify if he wants to dodge the Atlas ulti. The problem with Atlas is without your second skill, you're kind of useless. You have to wait a little bit without your second skill, and your second skill lasts for like 10 seconds, I think. So I think Atlas could be a good setter. The problem with him also is a little bit of wave clear. The problem with him is you have to, in most cases, if you want to wave clear with Atlas, obviously you need Concussive Blast. You auto attack the minion wave, and then it wave clears, right? But in most cases, what Atlas players would do is they would use first skill along with their Concussive Blast, so they could wave clear a lot faster. And what a lot of Atlas would do is they would use second skill, and then while they're in the alien or ghost form, or let's just say alien form, you use your first skill so that there's 2 first skills while clearing the minion wave, and it's a lot faster, right? So I think Atlas should be like A. They're better than these heroes in my opinion. And Atlas could also work against Joy, to be honest, if you time it correctly. Could also work against heroes like Nolan, really good, right? Atlas is surprisingly like not that bad right now in the meta, to be honest with you. All right, next we got Badang. Badang's S tier, I think. He's not pick or ban worthy, but definitely an S tier. Could set up pretty well, could cancel a lot of ultis, could disrupt a lot of ultis, and he's quite tanky, especially if you're Thunderbelt build. Has a lot of stacks. The problem with him sometimes is if you have a mage that cannot go anti-heal like the first build, it's kind of hard to do, since obviously for Badang roam you need a lot of stacks on your Thunderbelt, right? So that's his main thing. You just keep punching, keep stacking your Thunderbelt. But if you don't have anti-heal for the early game and your mage cannot get glowing wand, he's not a glowing type. Like for example, who is a mage that don't build glowing wand? It's hard to build glowing wand first build on low Yi. You run out of mana. You usually need book first, right? So on low Yi, it's kind of hard to do. You need someone to build anti-heal, dominance ice. So you're not gonna be able to build Thunderbelt right away. So that's the problem with Badang. But overall, he's pretty good. I would say that's his only like kind of weak part right there. He could stack really well, he could poke really well, he could set up pretty well. His early game is just focused on poking and giving vision, and kind of just disrupting the enemy on where they're gonna gank. So he's actually not that bad. Pretty good. Alright. Sicilian too, yeah. Sicilian you have to go like Clock of Destiny first, right? So next. Or Elegant Gem first. Next is Baxia. Okay. I'm gonna put Baxia at B. I think Baxia is like conditional roam. Right? So if you guys have never seen a Baxia roam, it's actually a roamer that could counter the Hilda roam. If you have an assassin on your team, and then the enemy team picks a Hilda roam to invade your Hilda, it's actually because you could use Baxia to actually counter that Hilda for the anti-heal. Melancholy Hilelo. Recommend to counter Badang. To counter Badang, in my opinion, I think Chu's pretty good. Because your mobility can fake him out and stuff. You can dodge, you can get out of his second skill pretty well. So I think Chu's really good against Badang in my opinion. And what else? But the thing is, it's like a 50-50. Because if Chu tries to kick, Badang could also cancel. Alright, so that's why. Alright, Belrick. I think for a Belrick, he's actually like an S tier in my opinion. He's meta right now, especially against heroes like Joy, heroes like Chip, Low Yi. He's like a really good counter engage. He's good for protecting, right? He's pretty good at protecting. The problem with Belrick is the mobility. I would say mobility. He could take Revitalize or Flicker, but in most cases he'll take Revitalize, so his mobility goes down even more. But for the Flicker play, you're not gonna have Revitalize early game, so your stain goes down a lot. But you could kind of surprise people with your ulti if you have a Flicker. I think Belrick is actually pretty decent. He's like a semi-Tigreal in my opinion. So people use Belrick in the meta right now to counter the Joy. Alright, because Joy cannot dodge Belrick's ulti if you time it correctly. And it's quite easy to land against Joy, especially in turtle fights. Alright, So that's why Belrick is in S tier. But I would say Badang is better than Belrick, in my opinion. More Badang, you can draft Badang more in a lot of team comps. Alright, next, Carmella. Carmella is actually an A tier, I would say. Like, also very situational. Really good against heroes like Faramis, which is still meta. Really good against heroes like Faramis. The problem with her is her ulti is kind of hard to land. Alright, you need your ulti at the turtle fight. Her sustain is very good. Her mobility is decent with the movement speed. She only has a single target stun, but if you do hit your ulti, you can stun a bunch of people. So it's like she's very, very ulti dependent, just like Akai and Atlas, right? Very, very ulti dependent if you notice, right? So that's why she's gonna be A tier. So she's really good against Chip and Loyi. The problem with Carmella is also you need to be careful of Valentina. For these heroes, you need to be careful with Valentina. Like for these heroes, even if Valentina gets the Belrick ulti, it's not that effective compared to these heroes, if you think about it. So that's why all of these heroes are in A tier as well. Yeah, Belrick is definitely underrated. So Chip is still S tier, a little bit better than Belrick, I would say. Mid S tier. So the reason why Chip is so strong right now is because, well, he's not ban or pick worthy anymore, in my opinion. He's not ban or pick worthy anymore. His teleport cooldown is really long now, so it's not as scary as before, and you can actually deal with it now, and you can actually like kind of expect, like, people are starting to know how to play against this Chip because he only teleports at four places, and he became like a pick-off type of roamer now. He's like a Franco type of roamer, in my opinion, now, compared to before where he just roams around and he could react to everything the enemy team does. So it's kind of annoying before, but now his teleport has high cooldown, so he cannot do that anymore. The good thing about Chip is his laning phase is so strong, and his pacing and tempo is so fast. So that's why Chip is still S tier, in my opinion. Alright, so next we have Cho. Cho is probably one of the best roamers right now. Mobility, vision, setup, survivability. Alright, you could like you could outplay a lot of heroes with Cho if you play him like really well. Alright, so yeah, I think Cho is gonna be like auto pick or ban as a roamer for me. Auto pick or ban. You can actually ban Cho if the enemy team has like an insane Cho player. He could counter a lot of heroes. But Badang does pretty decent against Cho, like in terms of matchup. But Cho could also outplay Badang if he plays it correctly. Like, Cho doesn't have a hard counter, in my opinion. I've seen in tournament play or scrims that teams actually use Belrick to counter Cho, matchup wise, just so they could cancel the kick. Since Belrick ulti, the vicinity of the Belrick ulti is just so large that in most cases, as long as you stick next to Belrick, the Cho's kick is gonna get cancelled unless Belrick is the one that gets kicked. So that's why Cho is like really, really good. Good vision, also a flex pick. So yeah, the Cho is actually picker ban, in my opinion. Diggy. Alright, so Diggy's only gonna be A tier in my opinion now. Very situational as well, very ulti dependent. The problem is there's a lot of assassins in the meta right now, so it's kinda hard to play Diggy. And there's a lot of like Farsas that could counter you, Savior, Sicilian that could really, really give you a hard time. So you're not gonna have a lot of frontline, and you're gonna get bursted by heroes like that. You also have people like Granger or Irithel that could really run fast towards you, and you're not gonna be able to stop it. Or Harith, right? So it's like kind of hard to play Diggy right now, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's why he's only gonna be A tier. Probably a lot better than Carmella, in my opinion. Yeah, right there, mid A tier probably. So next we have Edith. Okay, so I think the problem with Edith is Badang. Yeah, Edith is really good fast clear with the first clear. For the first skill, good fast clear for the first skill. Good sustain with her ulti. Pretty good on team fights. Good counter engage. Good engage. The problem with her, I would say, is her mobility. She's not able to mirror the enemy as fast because her mobility is really slow. And you could get countered by Cho and Mathilda and Badang, and a lot of the meta picks can counter Edith. So I think she's gonna be like low S tier in my opinion. Low S tier, high A tier. Because she's very situational as well. She's a flex pick also. She could go XP lane as well. So that's why she's gonna go S tier. She's a little bit better than Akai since her cooldown's kinda low. Yeah, very versatile. So Edith is still pretty decent in my opinion. Estess. So like I said before, there's a lot of assassins in the meta, right? So that's why the Ube strat is not as popular right now. And not a lot of utilities. The utility junglers are popular right now. So the Ube thing doesn't work as well. So I would just put Estess in the A tier. He's like mid A tier, I would say. In my opinion. You really need to specialize on a specific team comp if you want to make Estess work. Alright? You need to have like a really good front line for your jungler if you want to make Estess work. And you need to have a hard carry at the gold lane and the mid lane if you want to make Estess work. Okay? So it's like very draft dependent for Estess. Like compared to these heroes, you could pretty much draft Cho with anything, literally anything, any team composition. Same with these people, like you could pretty much draft a lot of these heroes with like any composition or any mage partner, right? But with Estess, you cannot do that. You need like a specific team composition with him. So that's why Estess is gonna go A tier. So next, we have Florine. Florine is actually S tier, in my opinion. Why? Because Florine has a global ulti, and you cannot the anti-heal doesn't work as well on when you're against a Florine. So if you have anti-heal and Florine ults, it doesn't affect it. I know what the anti-heal only affects the first kill, but I think the ulti is like a base number. So no matter what you do, no matter what anti-heal you get, her ulti is always gonna heal the same amount every single time. Alright? And it heals even more with the healing passive from boots. Right? If you have favor. So I think Florine is like S tier if you build with her. Like you could draft assassins with Florine. Because if Ling is split pushing and they do like a 2v1 against Ling, Florine could ulti as long as she sees she's low. It's like an Angela. Yeah, Florine is like an Angela but as a heal, not a shield. Alright? And you could continuously heal on teamfights at a Lord Dance. So that's why Florine actually works compared to Estess and Diggy. Because Florine doesn't have to go with you for her to heal you. The problem with Florine is you're kind of squishy. So you need a frontline as well. Kind of squishy. And kind of like you lack crowd control. You only have one crowd control with your first skill. So that's the only problem with Florine. Probably a low S tier. If you actually if you draft her correctly, she's pretty darn good. Alright. Franco. I would say Franco is kind of hard to pull off right now. I would say mid A tier. He's a pick-off hero. A lot of heroes could cancel him. He needs to build Winter Truncheon or Fleeting Time not to not get cancelled and to get his ulti like consistently on cooldown. Because without Fleeting Time, his cooldown on his ulti is like 50 to 60 seconds. It's so long. He's so ulti dependent. And if you don't hit any hooks, you're kind of screwed. He cannot really frontline. No mobility. He only has a little bit of movement speed, but that's about it. And it's kind of like you need to build him with high burst as well. If you don't have high burst, Franco's not gonna work. So that's why Franco's gonna go A tier. Yeah, Franco's gonna go A tier. Anyways, next we have Gatot. Gatot, super versatile. I think Gatot is S or auto picker ban in my opinion. Really good against Eve. Really good sustain against assassins right now in the meta. If you get your Wrath passive, the bar on the bottom of your health bar, you could literally sometimes 1v1 assassins with your Wrath passive. Literally. If you play it correctly. So I think he's like high S, to be honest. In my opinion, he might be like maybe like along with Badang. Right there. Maybe along with Badang. I wouldn't say he's auto picker ban in my opinion. He is flexible, but he's definitely not as versatile as Cho. Like, you cannot use him as initiator by himself. It's so easy to dodge his ulti. So, I think I'm gonna put him at B. At S, sorry. At S. So, that's why. Ezekiel, hello. I'd say S because sometimes it's hard to hit ult. Yeah, S. I wouldn't say picker ban. Ezekiel, hello. Yeah, Florine ulti is freaking clutch, man. Alright, next. We have... who else? Grock. Okay, Grock. Grock is really good for vision. The only problem with Grock, since a lot of Grocks, what they're doing right now is they use second skill, right? To block the first wave so that they don't get freezed at mid or gold lane or XP. So the problem with Grock right now is... What is the problem with Grock? He's actually pretty good, but he's very ulti reliant. After he doesn't have his ulti, he's kind of screwed. Not really screwed. All you can do is first skill and kind of block people around with the wall. So I would put him like... He's actually high A tier in my opinion. High A tier. Maybe like even low S. Yeah, in my opinion. Like his vision is so good. His vision is so good, to be honest, Grock. He might be low S. Yeah, he might be low S. I'll give him an S. Grock. So the problem with him is he doesn't have poke as a roamer, right? Compared to Badang, Cho. Compare poke Badang, Cho, Chip, right? And even Gatot with Wrath, right? And Khaleed roam, Mathilda with a poke. So like, just the poke potential is not there. So he's gonna be low S. Yeah, he fell off, but like he's still pretty good. He could mirror the enemy jungler pretty well. So Gwyn. I think Gwyn is very ulti dependent. You usually don't build fleeting time for Gwyn, so you're gonna have a pretty high cooldown on her ulti most of the time. But what she has that Grock doesn't have is poke. He could also mirror the enemy team jungle. Good survivability with the second skill. And the second skill could be like a game changer if you hit like a shit ton of people. But it really depends. It's kind of hard to hit. You could have you could have combo with some mages, like for example Sushin. Sushin actually has like, you know, where she knocks up the enemies, and then you could knock her up without using your second skill and stuff like that. The problem with her is you need some type of burst, and Sushin is not a burst type hero. So you need some type of burst. She's like a pickoff, in a way, but with more mobility. Kind of like a Franco, but with more mobility, and you could actually hit more than one guy with your second skill. And the problem with her is you could actually cancel. Like a lot of Gwyns, I don't see them building Winter Truncheon to get cancelled, right? To avoid getting cancelled, sorry. So that's why Gwyn is quite hard. It's like heroes like Vexana, Aurora that could cancel you. Even Khufra is really good against you. Chu that could outplay you and just dodge your second skill if his reactions are fast enough. Badang could actually cancel your second skill if he punches you mid-air. So that's why Gwyn is actually like low S tier, in my opinion, low S tier. But better than Grock, in my opinion, I would say. Definitely more viable than Grock in this current meta. Next, we have Hellcurt, Baloy. This one is very like... This is very like draft dependent as well. First of all, you're not gonna have a front line, so you probably need a utility jungler, alright? And you probably need a very what's it called? A very tanky XP lane as well. Because in most cases, in the later stages of the game, you're the one that's gonna be split pushing and annoying people. Roam Hellcurt. Sup hides and break, hello. So I think Hellcurt is more like B or A. So it's like super draft dependent. There's not a lot of utility junglers right now that are super tanky like Florine. Like if it was like Akai, Baxia, X-Borg jungle, then Hellcurt would be so good. But imagine Alpha. Even Alpha cannot front for you that much. So it's really hard to pull him off, in my opinion. I think Hellcurt's like a B, in my opinion. He's good in solo queue. He's a solo queue pub stomper because people don't know how to play against him. But for me, like in tournament setting, he's like a B. He's so draft dependent, especially in the meta where there's so many assassins right now. Hellcurt tank? No, Hellcurt roamer. This is Hellcurt roam. You could build Hellcurt roam. So you could build him with dire hit and full damage, and you're the one that's gonna be picking people off, poking people at the side lanes, and you're the one that's gonna be split pushing at the end game. So I think Hellcurt's like B, in my opinion. Super draft dependent. Next, Hilda. I think Hilda roamer still works. To be honest, she's like a high A. She's a high A, but I think she's better fit as an XP laner, in my opinion. As an XP laner, There are some assassins that you cannot use Hilda against. Like, you know how people use Hilda to counter assassins? So Suyu is technically an assassin and Nolan is technically an assassin, and those two heroes, Hilda cannot do anything. Cannot do anything against those two heroes. They farm so fast that you cannot do anything. Like, she's not as effective. So she's actually really good as an XP laner. She's a flex. She doesn't have any CC. She falls off really hard late game, but she's very, very tanky. Like in the early stage of the game, a lot of sustain. Really annoying. And like even for Joy, you cannot even do much against Joy. I mean, you could probably poke her, but that's about it. You're probably not gonna be able to kill her. Against Alpha, you definitely lose against Alpha. You cannot do anything against Alpha. Yeah. So probably like a high A in my opinion. High A, probably higher than Akai. Higher than Akai. The only thing that Hilda could do as a roamer, you could mirror the enemy jungler pretty well, especially if they're assassin. Right? You can mirror. Next, we have Hylos. Hylos is an S tier, I think. He's a flex. He's like mid S. He's a flex pick. Really tanky, really good against assassin. Has a lot of sustain. Really good slow on the pathway. Good on revitalize. Good frontline overall. Does decent damage if you stay in the team fight long enough. Problem with him is he's only single target with a CC. So that's the only problem with Hylos. His wave clear is decent with concussive blast and second skill, so it's not even too bad. Maybe his mobility is kind of bad also. I mean, he has movement speed on first skill, but that's about it. I would say mid A. Very flexible. Chip is better than Hylos. That's like very you can debate that, but it's like a 50-50 to be honest. It's a 50-50. Yeah, I think Chip is better in laning in my opinion. And Chip roams around the map a lot faster than Hylos, so I think Chip might be a little bit better than Hylos. Roam. This is roam, not XP. This is roam, not XP. This is a roamer tier list. Alright, next. We got Jawhead. Jawhead is S tier. I'm sure about it. S tier. Probably better than Hylos. Even probably better than Chip, in my opinion. If you draft Jawhead correctly, like for example with Suyu, the farm is so fast. Oh, I forgot about that. Gwyn could also leash the junglers really fast. I think Gwyn like jumps up here, like right here. You could leash your jungle with Gwyn as well. Same with Jawhead, but Jawhead leashes so much faster. Akai could do it too, but not as good as these two people right here. These two are Jawhead is not ulti dependent, right? Not ulti dependent. He's kind of flicker second skill dependent. So, and he deals a shit ton of damage. He could like invade greens. He could make your jungle tempo so fast. And he could take down like a lot of assassins. Sometimes even by himself. Sometimes. Like for example, there's a Ling. You could ulti Ling like on a wall. You have shield on your second skill, so pretty decent sustain, decent movement speed with your second skill, and high damage on the first skill. So pretty decent. Jawhead is actually pretty good right now, I would say. Just to kind of put up the tempo on the jungle pathing. Johnson is so ulti dependent, and in most cases you have to build him with fleeting time or cooldown. He's gonna be like low B tier, I think. But if you're a really good driver, you might do well. But there are some cases where, for example, there's a chill. There's a chill, right, that could literally second skill your ulti and dodge everything, dodge the stun, everything, and run away. There's a Badang that could really, literally ulti in front of you and dodge your ulti as well, because the Badang is immune to crowd control with his ulti. There's Jawhead that could actually also dodge, but it's kind of hard to do. That could also dodge your ulti if he ults you as a car. He's immune when he's ulted, right? So I think Johnson is gonna be here. His build path is kind of bad as well. Johnson build path. He is annoying and he's hard to deal with in solo queue if there's a good Johnson and with a good combo as well. But that's all he's ever gonna be. Johnson is there. He's too ulti dependent. He's kind of useless on the first turtle fight, and the first turtle fight is so important right now. Kadita roam. Kadita roam right now I think is just like a mid A. Better than Franco in my opinion. You also have to build off the Kadita roam. You need a utility jungler as well. You need a very tanky jungler and you need a tanky XP laner. The problem with Kadita, you cannot split push. You're kind of just hiding around and trying to look for kills. You're trying to look for kills. That's literally your objective. You look for kills. Kind of like a Hellcurt, but Hellcurt could actually split push. But the thing with Kadita is, it's so much easier to kill with Kadita. It's like an almost certain kill, where Hellcurt is like, sometimes you're not going to be able to burst with your second skill by yourself. Where Kadita, if you don't have Athena's in the early stage, you're dead. You're literally dead if you hit a full combo. For Hellcurt, in the early stage of the game, you're not going to be able to one-shot people. So that's why Hellcurt is, I think, lower tier than Kadita. That's the reason why, in my opinion. The only advantage that Hellcurt has over Kadita is the global ulti and the split push potential. And the sustain, I guess. And you could dodge a lot of crowd control with your first skill. You're immune while you're in your first skill state with Kadita. Alright. So next, Kaja. Kaja's really like mid-A as well. Kind of like a Franco. But I think, to be honest with you, I think Kaja might be better than Franco. Yeah. You cannot cancel his ulti. But his ulti's range is kind of short. If you build fleeting time, I think he's a lot easier to play. So he's like mid-A, in my opinion. Kaja. Yeah, Kaja. Anyways, next. I don't need to talk much about Kaja. It's like if you're building off a team a pick-off team composition, Kaja's really good. Next, Khaleed. Easily S tier. Easily S tier. Really good against Mathilda right now. Really good against Mathilda. Good poke, good sustain with a second skill, high movement speed. Could counter engage and engage with his ulti. Maybe higher than Jawhead in my opinion. Flex also. He's also a flex. Jawhead is not a flex. So higher than Jawhead. So yeah, that's why. Khufra. Khufra I think is only an A. Only an A. Probably better than, yeah, better than Akai. So why is Khufra only an A? First of all, slow wave clear. Kinda slow. Khufra is the type of hero where you have to hide and not show yourself to have pressure on the map. So he's one of those heroes where you need a lot of patience, right? The problem with Khufra is the mobility. If you mess up your first skill and jump at a wrong position, you're pretty much dead. You're dead, pretty much. And there's a lot of teams or a lot of people that are using Khufra to counter the Fanny, Chu, stuff like that. People with dashes, Harith. You gotta remember that a lot of these like Fanny players are really good and they will bait out your second skill. And sometimes even when you use your second skill, they don't even go towards you. They get so good that your second skill don't even matter. It doesn't even matter if you got second skill. It makes it annoying, yes. Khufra's like an A. Khufra has a good setup though. Really good setup. Could hit a big ulti. Could set up from afar. Probably the furthest and most surprising engage that the game has is Khufra. Either Khufra or Atlas. Those two are the most surprising in my opinion. Okay? Next. Lolita. Lolita is like an A tier. I think I need to move some people down here at C tier, in my opinion. Like some of these people, I need to move down on C tier, and I need to move some of these people at A tier because I'm doing like three tiers right now. But anyways, we'll adjust that later. Lolita is like an A tier mid, very situational, really good against Loyi and Harith actually, which is both are meta right now. Problem with her is she's kind of squishy and lacks CC. Like hard CC in terms of like, for example, if you're against a very mobile assassin jungler like a Joy, Lolita is not the answer. Hayabusa, you get destroyed by Hayabusa. Suyu, you get destroyed by Suyu. Right? You're squishy. You have good sustain on your shield with the Oasis, so you have to build Oasis if you want your shield to actually heal your teammates. So he's not like a solid frontline He takes Revitalize now from what I know. Or you could take Flicker, but you're not gonna have as much sustain. But if you're gonna build Oasis, you need Revitalize to make it more effective. Yeah, Lolita's like a solid A, in my opinion. You cannot shield the Farsa ulti. The good thing is, I guess you could shield the Granger ulti, but like he's not gonna shoot you while you have your shield up. So the poke, like by the time the poke comes, you're still like poked down and you're low. So I think it's A, mid A. Next, Mathilda. Here we go, big guns. Auto picker ban, Mathilda. I don't even want to talk about it. Mathilda is like broken. I think the only hero that does good against Mathilda are pickoffs. Pickoffs and Khaleed. Those two are really good against Mathilda. Anybody else, Mathilda is actually really good against. You could literally you could dodge Cho knockup if you have top boots. Mathilda is insane. Really good right now. Yeah. I don't have to explain much. Here we go. This is our first seat here, I think. I don't know if you guys remember, but there used to be Masha Rome. So I'm gonna put Masha at C tier. Not good. Too scaling. Way too scaling. Takes too much time. Anyways, Minotaur. Minotaur is A tier. A tier or only A tier, I think. Very ulti dependent. A tier. High A tier. Maybe like right here. Okay, so what's the problem with Minotaur? Why is he A tier? He has really good ulti, really good on team fights, blah blah blah. Good sustain on the heal and stuff like that. He's A tier because he's so freaking slow. He is so freaking slow. He gets poked down. His heal is not too much. His heal is decent late game. Early game, you don't really feel the heal too much. It's like 200 HP. Right? Minotaur has really good ulti, very ulti dependent. Alright, and a lot of Minotaurs are building Oasis just for a little bit more heal, which for me is not even worth it. So you cannot even front that much in the early stage of the game if you're building Oasis. Your build path is not the same as before where you go full tank. High cooldown on ulti, very ulti dependent. If you don't have ulti, you can only knock up once and heal. That's pretty much it. So only A tier. Cannot mirror junglers as well as these people. So yeah, vision is very important in the game and in the current meta. So Minotaur cannot do that. That's why. Anyways, and he can get poked down by a lot of junglers. Nolan, Joy gets poked. Fanny, I mean, I guess if you knock up with your first skill correctly against Fanny, then that's good. But like, it's kind of hard to hit, especially against a good Fanny. Mincy, yeah, Minno's kind of squishy. Mincy's like, A or B. Very ulti dependent as well, and his ulti's kind of easy to dodge in my opinion. Like with the movement speed that people have right now, it's kind of easy to dodge. It's like a low A, high B. To be honest with you, I think it's a B. To be honest with you, it's a B. Very hook dependent, and even if you hook someone, you're not gonna be able to stun them right away. You need to hit all your second skill if you want to stun them. Your ulti is really easy to dodge. You're ulti dependent. If you want your ulti to be fast, you need to build fleeting time. You're gonna be squishy. He's not super tanky. He is quite annoying on team fights, especially with high mobility heroes with his ulti. But his ulti only lasts like what? 6-7 seconds? And it's not even that big of a deal. And people just go around it, to be honest with you. So, only B tier, in my opinion. Decent wave clear, and also cannot mirror. No mobility. No mobility. This guy has no mobility. If you get caught, you're screwed. Would Mathilda second get out of Mincy ulti? No, that's a dash. That's a dash. Cannot. But Mathilda is so mobile that she has movement speed after she seconds. So it's so hard to catch. So hard to catch. Natalia. Natalia is like a Hellcurt. So we'll put her next to Hellcurt. She's like a split push. Kinda annoying. Kinda just to disrupt the side lanes. Goes invisible. So that's a good part. Goes invisible. Could dodge auto attacks with a second skill. Kind of annoying to deal with, just to run around and kind of disrupt the enemy, make the enemy team kind of react to your actions, like a Hellcurt, pretty much like a Hellcurt, but with less burst in the early stage of the game. She hurts. She hurts late game. You need like a mobility, a utility jungler for her, so to make her work. Anyways, yeah. Novaria. If you guys haven't seen, Novaria has been played in the roam before. Novaria gives good vision, good poke. Alright? Good vision, good poke. She becomes like a straight up support. You get decent vision without checking the bush. But you kinda like, the meta right now is assassins and you're kinda screwed. There's Hayabusas, there's Fannies, there's freaking, even Joy could kill you, even Suyu could come to you. To be honest, but Suyu is not that bad. So you need to build like a draft around her. A B. Cannot split push as well. Has good poke, but that's about it. Very scaling. Low B, almost a C in my opinion. Yeah, almost a C. Next, Popol. We've seen Popol. We've seen Popol roamer. Venus. Popol roamer. Single target. In terms of wave clear, really bad. You need a really high wave clear if you want to be a roamer right now. Wave clear, concussive blast, concussive blast. This one is more on sustain. And you have your first skill for wave clearing. Gatot has concussive blast, Khaleed has good wave clear. Jawhead could leash. Chip has good wave clear. Hylos has good wave clear. This one has leash. Belrick has pretty decent wave clear with concussive blast, good wave clear. Florine has heal and sustain. And, high sustain. So what Florine does is, he heals off minions in the early stages of the game. That's why it's not the same, even though he's single target. This one doesn't have heal. Good vision though. Good traps, good vision, good CC, single target CC. But assassins are meta right now. Assassins are meta right now. So you get destroyed by Joy if you don't have your ulti. You cannot front. I think you're too squishy to even front. You could leash as well, I guess, with Popol instead of clearing mid. You could leash. Problem with Popol, probably too squishy. How long does his ulti last? Like 20 seconds cooldown? 25 seconds cooldown? He's single target, so on a team fight he's not as effective. And usually people dodge it quite well and bait you out with with the bite quite well. So Popol is not that effective in my opinion. As a roamer. Next. Rafaela. Rafaela is like kind of like the same concept as Florine, but I think Florine is better than Raf. Florine is way better than Rafaela. Good counter engage, good stun. You can even engage with her ulti. Good heal. Good movement speed, good poke with the first skill. Problem is, your CC is kind of hard to land, and your heal is not global. So you need to stick with your teammates. So I would actually put Rafaela into like right here. Like somewhere here. Mid A, to be honest with you. You could counter Eve with the anti-slow, but to be honest with you, even with the anti-slow, Eve still freaking hurts. The anti-heal affects you, so yeah, only A. To be honest with you, like even near Estess, like right there. Ruby. Ruby's like a... Okay, the problem with Ruby is like the tempo is so slow. But Ruby's actually pretty decent. She's like a A. You could protect your teammates with Ruby. You could counter Fanny with Ruby pretty well. Has low cooldown, really good on team fights. Her wave clear is pretty decent. Problem with her is she cannot mirror as well. She's too slow to mirror the jungler. Too slow. So I think Ruby's gonna be like a high A. And it's kind of hard to pick, especially for heroes against. Like for example, you're playing Ruby and then you hook freaking Badang. Badang will second skill you and you're kind of screwed, and you'll put them closer to your team. Or you hook freaking Belrick and your teammate's gonna try to follow up and you're kind of screwed. Belrick has such high vicinity or high AoE, right? Or Tigreal, imagine Tigreal, hooking Tigreal, and then Tigreal just ultis you and you're screwed. You're kind of just killing yourself. Hello Arjun, hello. So Saber. Saber is this. This is like solo queue shit. Saber is C. Once you get to late game, Saber cannot even burst anymore if they get too tanky. You can only burst like the damage dealers, which are like on the back line. Doesn't have any mobility, the only second skill. Hellcurt is so much faster. Hellcurt could run away with ulti. Natalia could go invisible. Saber doesn't have that. So it only makes sense to put him on C. Only makes sense to put him on C. Yes, he deals a lot of damage, but it's only for solo queue stuff. If you try to draft him in tournaments as a roam, it's so bad. It's like asking for a loss. It's so bad. You need to draft around him as well. You need a utility jungler that's really tanky and an XP also. Selena. Okay, Selena's like a Novaria. Maybe probably a little bit better than Popol. Good vision, but the thing about Selena is you can actually kill someone early. Novaria, you could poke early, but you cannot. There's not a lot of kill potential with Novaria early. But with Selena, if you end up getting a stun with Selena, which you could throw every like what 5 seconds, it's actually pretty decent. I would put like Selena like right here, like mid B. Mid B. My opinion. Next, Sylvana. I've seen a Sylvana roam before. So Sylvana is very ulti dependent, no mobility, so you cannot really like mirror your enemies, to be honest. I think she's gonna go down here, to be honest with you. Her ulti is like super easy to dodge unless you have flicker ulti. So, and you could cancel her second skill quite well. I would say she's like right here. Mlbb, to be honest. You could leash with Sylvana with the second skill, but what, after that you're kinda useless. If you have knockup, you could easily cancel her second skill while she has ulti. And you have to build her damage anyways. So next, we have Tigreal. Tigreal is high S. High S. Counters a lot of assassins right now. Well, not a lot. Joy, specifically Joy. And even Alpha and Suyu, to be honest. A little bit easier to catch Suyu if you know he doesn't have dash. Hayabusa is kind of hard to catch. Fanny's hard to catch with Tigreal, but has so much pressure. The problem with Tigreal is most likely the cooldown on his ulti. He's so ulti dependent, but his pressure is so high. Like if you're not showing yourself in the map, your frontline pressure, he's really tanky. He's really tanky. So Tigreal is actually pretty good right now. His wave clear is pretty good with first skill, and your second skill has some form of like more CC. But without your ulti, you really need your ulti on team fights. It's so big. His ulti is so big. And in most cases, you need a flicker. So it's really good combo with like Loyi. So that's why he's like up there. But yeah, you can build fleeting time with Tigreal and you'll be fine. But he's gonna be really squishy. Okay. Next. Surprisingly enough, okay, we'll go here first. Valier. You could actually use Valier to counter Tigreals, you could counter Hylos, but he's so squishy. He's just for poking. You need like a Fredrin, Akai, or Alpha on your team if you want to use Valier Roamer. His first skill is kind of annoying, and his second skill good for peeling, but against assassins he's really bad. And you know assassins are meta right now, so he's like low A. Really good against Hilda roam, really good against Hylos roam. Pretty good against Tigreal as well if you think about it. Really bad against Cho, really bad against Mathilda. He's still pretty good against Khaleed also. But anyways, yeah, he cannot leash. His first skill doesn't do enough damage to leash. So he's gonna be like low A, in my opinion. It's not like, doesn't make sense to play Valier as a roamer. His damage doesn't deal enough to build dire hit from. If you need to build him tank, so he's not. You're just there to kind of just annoy people. You're just annoying to deal with, pretty much. All right, next we have roamer. Who else do we have as a roamer? Let me see. Did I miss anyone? Roamer. I did. We've seen Aurora roam. Doesn't give vision. Has good poke, no mobility. So sorry. I've seen it though. Aurora, what else? Glue Roam? Glue Roam could work, but it's super situational. It's only when the enemy team has like... Yeah, if only the enemy team has utility junglers. But other than that, he's not that good. But Glue Roam. B. Paramis Roam. I've seen Paramis Roam. Probably a C. I mean, good wave clear, really squishy. Your poke is not super high. And you cannot really, well, you could mirror, but as soon as you use your first skill, you're kind of screwed. You're not really a ganking material. You're more of a support. You're more of a backline and try to survive your teammates. It's like a, it's a C also. It's a C also. But better than these. There you go. Next. Have I seen Hanzo roam? What if we do Hanzo roam, huh? Hanzo roam with freaking sprint and just annoy people. Anyways, I'm not gonna put it in roam. Who else could roam? Nana roam? I think I've seen Nana roam from Baloy. No mobility, has good poke, really good burst, but like that's about it. Yeah, passive. Kinda like, yeah, just good poke. Well, who else? Valentina. I've seen it. Valentina roam. People are starting to do it. It's surprisingly kinda annoying. So this is mainly to like counter Lucas. Counter Lucas. They get your ulti, you're really tanky, you build Thunderbelt, you get some stacks. Put them like B. It could work. I could see the potential. People use her to counter Lucas. Or counter heroes like Tigreal maybe, just to get your ulti. You have more mobility, has decent poke with Thunderbelt. But that's about it. Julian can also roam in tank? I don't think so. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Roam. Who else can roam? Sujin. Apparently Sujin could roam. You're just being annoying, you're tanky. If you build tanky item, I mean, you're building... If you build magic item with Sushin, you barely do any damage at all. Barely. Imagine building tank item on Sushin. Only for CC. People are so fast. By the time you could get someone up, you're dead. In most cases, you're just being annoying pretty much on team fights. Like right there. Yin. I have seen it. I have seen a Yin. I was thinking about that when I saw him. Yin roam. Very ulti dependent. You just kind of take the jungler. But for me, it's not it. Horrible in team fights. You need to build damage, scaling. And as a roamer, you don't get a lot of gold. So it takes a long time. Kind of like a Masha. And you're a single target. I don't know, not a single target. I mean like, you can only ulti one guy. Probably a little bit better than Faramis. Yeah, like that. Who else? It's blah 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 blah. Rito, who else could roam here? Terizla. I've seen Terizla roam. People have done it before. Terizla roam is actually not that bad. Maybe like high B. Good wave clear, very tanky, good setup. Problem is no mobility, cannot mirror. You cannot mirror the enemy team. No mobility. Yeah, slow. Next. Who else could you roam? Nope. Hanzo, let's just put Hanzo, whatever. Well, Hanzo get the freaking buffs. Hanzo. No mobility, you cannot mirror the enemy team jungle until you get level 4. You're kind of just there to steal jungles. Early stage of the game. And there's a high chance you're gonna die since you're gonna be overextended. A little bit better than Sushin. Kinda annoying to deal with. If you play it correctly. I think it depends on how it's played. Put him at C. High C. Who else? I think that's it, no? I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it. I think we got all the roamers, I think. Even the really weird ones. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You've seen Barats roam? I have. Selena Barats. I have. You're right. I have. Low mobility, low B. Low mobility, good wave clear. Low mobility. Easy to kill. Single target ulti. Low B. Takes a lot of time for you to get tanky, since you don't get a lot of gold. Yeah. There you go. That is your roamer tier list for 2025 January. Take a screenshot. That is our roamer tier list. Yura? No, nobody does that. I don't think anybody does. I don't think anybody does. You're a roamer. No, it's mostly XP. Like I even put the weird ones here. Just throw these out of the gutter. Yeah, these are really good. These are pretty good actually. Alright, screenshot. Then I'll give it a couple minutes. This is definitely, I don't know, any changes that you guys need. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good tier list in my opinion. Pretty good. Pretty accurate. Yes, sir. Pretty accurate in my opinion based on my experience. They're pretty well balanced too. Like look at the balance. Except for these two. The two only really annoying roamers. And these are, look, kind of balanced. S, A, and B, and then there's freaking C, the weird ones. Anyways, okay, we're good. Next, we're gonna do mid laner. What do you guys want, mid lane or gold lane? I'll ask now. Mid lane or gold lane? Before I remove this, mid lane or gold lane tier list. What do you guys want? Mid please. We did jungler yesterday, Nexus. We already did jungler yesterday. There's 2 gold lanes and there's 2 mids. So right now it is completely even. I already did jungler yesterday, Nexus. You need to watch yesterday's stream. Gold lane. So there's 2 gold lane, there's 2 mids. What the heck do I pick? Come on, guys. We're even in voting. What do I do? Gold lane is a lot quicker, I'm not gonna lie. There's not a lot of gold laners, to be honest with you. Is the XP also done? Yes, XP was done yesterday. Part 1. That is part 1. You could watch it. But guys, make sure alright, it seems like it's mid. The olive says mid. Anyways, I will clip the tier list while I'm making it, and I'm just gonna upload it as a video so you guys could watch it, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. Is that fine with you guys? I'm just gonna trim it, clip it, post it as a tier list, but it's gonna take like an hour, right? Like the video is like an hour long, but you guys could skip through it obviously. But if you guys want like a long explanation about each hero, then you can watch the whole thing. Yeah, I'll just clip it. It depends on you guys, but because I know people are not gonna watch like a whole hour of me creating a tier list. Like that's crazy. That's boring. Anyways, let's clear these row images. I guess we'll go mid lane since the olive wanted mid. Wait up. Clear. Alright, let's go mid lane. Zoom in a little bit. Mid lane. I will do that next, Conejo. I'll think of that. There's so many tier lists to do, huh? So many tier lists. I'm doing hero tier list, but yeah, that's a good idea, Conejo. Pero I need to like make a tier list maker. Like I need to put their pictures and stuff in here. And the hard part about ranking players is they're gonna be butthurt if I rate them like really low. So it affects other people, which I don't really like doing. You know what I mean? We could do like a team. No, even a team tier list could affect people. You know what I mean? It's definitely like farm clips worthy. It's like controversial worthy. Do I really want that? Like, do I want the heat? Yeah. Do I want the heat though? That's all I'm asking. Like, do I want the heat? If I could take it, then if I don't care about their opinion, then it's okay. But I guess I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But definitely a good idea, Conejo. Good idea. Anyways, Alice. Scaling. To scaling doesn't help a lot on turtle fights, B. Super bad laning. You can get freezed at mid. So hard. B. Position 4, position 4, position 4, position 4, Sicilian S. Sicilian S right now. Really good wave clear. You cannot really freeze him. You just need to stack. Good survivability, especially against Lucas. Chang'e. A. Better than Alice. Good wave clear. Good defense. You're kind of useless without your shield on your second skill. Chang'e. No CC. Pretty decent movement speed. A. Cyclops. A. Really low cooldown, especially in the late stage of the game. It's like, what? Your ulti has like a 5 seconds cooldown or 8 seconds cooldown. Good poke. Kind of bad laning, to be honest with you. This is like a 50-50. Chang'e Cyclops, 50-50. Really bad laning. You could easily freeze the Cyclops at mid. That's his problem. Really high on mana since you spam your skills. Okay. Eudora. Single target. Pick off. No mobility. Once you throw your ulti, you're useless. B. Eudora. B. Bad publicity is still publicity. I'll think about it, Conejo. I'll think about it. Opinion lang naman. But I'll think about the players. Pero nice content idea. Yeah, it is a nice content idea. B. Single target. You could even dodge her ulti, to be honest. No mobility. So slow. Also a little bit scaling. Gord. Gord is A. High A. No mobility but high wave clear. You cannot freeze a Gord. You only need to put 1 second skill into a wave, a mid wave, for you to clear. Good poke. But you can easily dodge the poke. Decent CC with the first skill. So far, right? But no mobility. Only an A. Gord. We need a heat. Wait, what? Anyways. Mage. This one. I've seen it. I've seen people trying to do this shit. Harris mid. First of all, Harris needs a lot of mana. And usually mid laners have less gold than gold laners, obviously. And you don't build items that fast. Probably better than Eudora. Probably better than Alice. But I wouldn't say he's A tier. B tier. He's kind of buff dependent and item dependent. Scaling. Also very bad at laning at first. So, like, in terms of mid lane, he's bad at laning. No CC. Ulti dependent at, well, his ulti is like 15 seconds, so it doesn't even matter. So, Harith, yeah. B. He's not good for mid. He's much better as a gold lane. Next. Harley. I've seen it. Harley also single target a little bit. You kind of become useless at the later stage of the game. Decent wave clear. Decent mobility with movement speed and second skill. You have earlier killing potential with at level 4. So probably a high B. High B. You could actually kill people at like the early stage of the game. Joy. Joy, I would say, is actually not that bad at mid. I'm gonna be honest with you. His only problem is he probably needs a good roamer to clear with him. With her. Because laning phase, she's a melee hero, and you usually need to dash in if you want to farm with Joy. So if you dash in, that means you get poked. But if you have a fast clearing roamer, Joy is actually pretty good. You could literally farm, and you could actually clear the wave so fast. You only need like 2 dashes to clear. A minion wave at mid. Martis mid? People do that shit? Who does that? Who's doing Martis mid? I've never seen that. I have never seen that. Julian. I would say probably better than all these guys. A. Also, these two are flex picks, if you want to flex it. Really good burst at the early game. Bad laning. That's the only problem. Bad laning. Julian. Good thing is, you only need level 3 to get all your skills. You only need level 3. So even if you get freeze, it doesn't affect them that much. A pro team did that? Did they win? Did they win? Oh yeah, Kurt. Guys. Oh man, the Clippers are here. I can't say anything too controversial, can I? But I think you guys know the answer. Oh yeah, I remember Kurt. Why do you guys think mid Martis works in MPL Singapore? You guys let me know. You guys let me know why you guys think mid Martis works in Singapore. Please. I think you guys know. I'm not gonna say anything. I might get clipped. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to hurt anybody. No, we're not talking about it. That's crazy. Decent clear, Martis. Decent clear. Good early. You fall off hard. You're gonna have to build damage. You don't have dire hit. You build items slower than gold laners. You don't have poke. You get outpoked by mages. If you know, you know. I'm not saying it. If you know, you know. Alright, next. Kagura. Kagura is actually pretty decent. Problem with Kagura is kind of slow wave clear, to be honest with you. But better than these people. Good survivability, especially against assassins. The problem with her is she's ulti dependent. If you mess up your ulti, you're screwed. I'm not saying it. Alright, Kagura. A. Mid A. And she's kind of scaling, to be honest. She's not like Julian or Gord, where you could pretty much kill people. Well, Kagura could kill people early as well, but not as much as these people. Like, Julian and Gord, they hurt so much more in the early stage rather than Kagura. And you could easily dodge a Kagura ulti with dashes. Flickers, dashes, purify even. So, Kagura, only an A tier. Pretty good still. High outplay potential. But without ulti, kinda useless. Just poke. Good poke. Decent poke with the first skill. Next, Kimmy. Kimmy. I've seen this. Kimmy mid. I would think he's good at laning, since her range is like super far. But anyways, Kimmy might be like right here, scaling but no mobility. Probably lower than Kagura, to be honest with you. But she hurts late game. That's all I'm gonna say. She hurts late game. It takes a while. Alright. And sometimes Kimmy actually needs blue if you want your energy to come back a lot faster. So yeah, only A. 2 scaling, like, it takes a little bit too long, to be honest with you. And quite easy to kill. Especially with the assassin meta. So maybe like right here. Like here, low A. Next. Lunox. Okay, Lunox. Lunox is like high A. Better than Gord, I think. Pretty flexible. Nobody really counters Lunox like super hard because you have light form. The only problem with her is her clearing speed is kind of slow with the first skill. But her laning is quite strong with a sustain. So maybe like a high A. Lunox is actually pretty good. I wouldn't say she's S though. Because she's so easy to, like, if you don't, her mobility is not there. It's not it. And her poke, you cannot really poke without going dark. So she doesn't have constant poke, and her range is not that far compared to like heroes like Sicilian. Yeah, A good Lunox can delete. Definitely. No. I believe you guys. But then again, you gotta remember that, you know, I think Lunox is better as a gold laner, in my opinion. But as a position 4, she's not as good as much as a position 4. Because to be a good position 4, you need to be able to roam around the map as well, like quite fast. So the reason why Sicilian is so broken is good survivability. Well, Lunox has good survivability too, but Sicilian late game is quite insane compared to Lunox. You cannot compare Sicilian late game to Lunox. Sicilian is further range. You can infinitely stack. You have high sustain with your ulti. You just run away. Lunox, you could literally kill Lunox without light, which only lasts for like 5 to 6 seconds. Yeah. It's not the same. It's definitely not the same. Even though Sicilian is scaling. So the reason why these types of mages are now popular are because of heroes like Lucas and assassins. It's hard to play like the other mages against Lucas. Like for example, you're playing Pharsa against Lucas and Lucas is just in your face. You cannot even feather anything. So that's why these mages are actually quite good now. So next, we got Lo Yi. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Lo Yi's a freaking ban. Ban that hero, bro. You know how freaking annoying Lo Yi is? You know how it could outplay, like, you could literally be losing a game. You could be losing like 8k, 10k, and then one good teleport could literally change the game if the enemy team is out of position. In solo though, Lo Yi's bad. In solo, Lo Yi's freaking bad in solo. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about in general. Lo Yi is like freaking broken. So much sustain with Brave Smite. You're tanky with your shield on your passive. If you keep using your first skill and you're getting combos. In tournament, Lo Yi is so good. If you see him on scrims, Lo Yi is freaking broken. Teams first pick Lo Yi. I'm serious. Teams ban and first pick Lo Yi. In tournaments and scrims. Broken ass hero, but you need to have a good team with it. Broken freaking hero, not broken but like really good hero. Lilia, I'm put Lilia ST. Nah, good clear, good laning phase, good survivability with the ulti, but it's really easy to dodge your second skill. To be honest, a lot of people have high mobility right now. Maybe like you don't have kill potential early since you don't really have a lot of damage, but you have a lot of poke against utility junglers. So maybe like right here, high A. Right there, high A. We need to put this here. Yeah, like that. We're putting it like that. Don't give me with that shit. All right, next, Pharsa. Pharsa's good. Good poke. Alright, good burst. Good mobility with a bird. Good CC with a stun. Problem is, if you get your feather airstrike cancelled, that's it. You need to position yourself quite well with Pharsa. But he's really good. You could literally 2 feather airstrike a marksman with Pharsa. Even with rose gold, I think. Maybe with rose gold 3 feather airstrike. Easy S. Easy S, Pharsa. Easy S tier. Let's see, who else? Do people play Nathan position 4? I don't want to talk about it. Alright, let's Odette. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Odette is low-key underrated. I'm gonna be honest with you. She freaking hurts. She actually counters. She counters a lot of assassins. Especially Joy. Especially Joy. You get destroyed by Hayabusa though. But Joy, Suyu, you could sustain. If you get your ulti down, you could sustain with your shield. Suyu and Joy, and they die. They will die. It's team dependent, but it's actually so underrated, bro. It is so underrated. Like, her laning is kind of bad, so I would put her like maybe like above Julian. She's underrated. That's all I'm gonna say. But against Fanny also, she's bad. But her poke is actually pretty good with her passive. With the bouncing music notes. It's actually pretty... It hurt. Like yesterday I got hit by a freaking music note. It took like almost half my health. A freaking music note. Imagine a passive music note taking like almost half my health. I don't even know how that's possible. Anyways. Respect. Respect to Odette. Next. Veil. Good burst. The only problem with Veil is the wave clear. Kind of slow. Good movement speed once you get your stacks. And you're kind of ulti dependent.
Yes, sir. There.
I think it's still S. I think it's still S. Good poke. Good CC. I think the tornado makes a lot of difference. You could... TikTok? Ah, yeah. The TikTok with the second skill. TikTok with the second skill. You could actually surprise a lot of people with that. So you could tornado second skill. To kind of surprise people and burst them down. Yeah. Veil is like a low S. Low S. I'm serious. Instant delete. Instant delete. Especially if you have like a Sky Piercer build, but it's kind of hard to do that, so. Good movement speed. Kind of annoying to chase. So fast with 10 stacks. Vexana. S. Probably better than Veil. Good CC. Really high CC. Good poke with second skill. You can disrupt a lot of ultis with first skill and ulti. You could literally... It's like a Tigreal with range. Tigreal with range. If you hit your first skill, in most cases, even if they have tough boots, if you use your ulti right away, they will not move. They will get destroyed. Vexana S tier. Alright, next. Savior. Here we go. We're going to the spicy part. Yo, right now there's a lot of teams experimenting around Savior. Also, my team is experimenting with Savior. He freaking hurts. This guy hurts. And he could counter heroes like CC, counter heroes like Lucas, who disables the movements with the second first combo if you use it correctly. The problem is the assassins. Hayabusa, Fanny, as long as you don't have those. Hayabusa, Fanny. Suyu you could deal with. Suyu, fine. Suyu is okay. Even Joy. Joy is... You could deal with Joy. Because you can literally stop Joy from dashing with your second first if you use it correctly. Savior is freaking underrated right now. You guys should try it. Insane. Technically a global ulti. It runs across the map. And you could lore dance with Savior ulti. You could use your ulti to ulti the opposite lane, the long lane. So that your long lane is at an advantage. Super underrated. Savior. S tier. But in my opinion, probably better than Veil. Next. Eve. Right there. Good laning, bro. Eve. Freaking annoying. Good poke. No mobility though. That's a problem. And she has a freaking bug. Invisible, no? Invisible. Invisible ulti. If she's on a bush, her ulti is invisible. That's freaking broken. How are you gonna tell me? Someone fix that. Someone fix that. She's really good. So, why is Eve on pick and ban zone? She could outpoke Sushin. More range than Sushin. And Sushin is quite annoying. Really good against Alpha. Pretty decent against Loyi. Yeah. Really good against Loyi as well. In laning. Pretty good against Suyu. Pretty good against pretty good against Phoveus. Who else? You struggle against Fanny and Joy though. And Hayabusa. Fanny, Joy, Hayabusa are your main enemies in the current meta. So just be careful of that. Yeah. But maybe like... There we go. I think that this is more appropriate. Right there. S. I wouldn't say she's pick or ban. I don't even ban Eve anymore, to be honest. In scrims. I don't even ban her anymore. S. Only S. Next. We got freaking Valier. No mobility. You lack damage. Even if you get to late game, you barely do any damage. The only thing annoying about you is your crowd control. C. Ass. Wait up, guys. I'm not done yet. I'm gonna get to everyone. Chill, guys. Chill. I'm going like from left to right. Wait. Zas. Zas is A. Still A. Gets hard countered by Nolan. Very slow. You only pretty much stay mid. Your ulti is quite easy to dodge, in my opinion. People just dash away from your ulti and run away. And once you don't have your ulti, your Nightmaric spawn is dead. You're kind of screwed. You're dead. A. Sup, paper tick? A. Still A. Wave clear kind of slow. Like, she might be a low A. He might be a low A, to be honest with you. Zas. Ulti depend, very ulti dependent. So you probably need fleeting time. Anyways, next. Okay. Mage. Okay, Kadita. Kadita is like the same thing as Kagura, but higher kill potential and I guess easier to execute because you're gonna have Petrify with Kadita. You're not gonna have Dire Hit though, but I think Kadita is like the same thing as Kagura. Your wave clear is super slow. Yeah, that's the only problem with Kadita. Wave clear is super slow, just like Kagura, and Kadita has less pressure when you're always seen in the map. So when you're always clearing mid, you're always seen in the map. So that's the hard part with Kadita. Only A. Probably better than Kag because she has better kill potential than Kagura. And easier kill potential than Kagura. Next. Novaria. I'll put Novaria S tier. Meta. Definitely meta. Good poke, good clear, good defense, insane late game. Her ulti is a little bit short. I'm gonna be honest, her ulti is a little bit short now, but still pretty good. Poke is really good. The burst could be really good if you use your second skill at the later stage of the game, but could easily be countered by a Twilight Armor, to be honest with you, especially on tanky heroes. Mobility is pretty decent with second skill, but you have trouble with heroes like Fanny, Hayabusa. So probably a little bit better than Veil, to be honest. Like that. Next. Valentina. Valentina S tier. Easily. S tier, but not ban worthy anymore. Used to be ban worthy. You can get Tigreal's ulti. You can get Lucas ulti. The only thing Valentina struggles against is laning against Eve, Sushin, Louis. Eve, Sushin, Louis. You struggle against. Sicilian, you struggle against. Savior, you struggle against. Yeah. Laning. But Valentina is pretty good in laning in terms of like poke damage, I guess. But in terms of range, she doesn't have the range. But she has a lot of outplay potential. Definitely an S, Valentina. Yeah, Valentina is ban worthy depending on the composition. Next. Okay, we got Selena. Selena. Selena position 4. Slow wave clear. Good vision. Good mobility. But her wave clear is so slow. I don't like it. I don't like it. The problem with Selena position 4 is roamer it would work. As a position 4, you have to stay in lane and clear your wave every single time before you gank. And for Selena to do that, it's like so hard to keep up. Especially with your enemy team having like has such wave clear, they're most likely gonna block you off from ganking anyways. And you have to hit your stuns. And even if you do hit your stuns in the early game, Selena is most likely not gonna kill you. Compared to Harley. Harley could easily kill you in the early stage of the game. B. Very situational though. If you have a Cho, if you have a Cho with you, it could work. Like a high wave clear roamer on your side. Here we go. Angela. I think low S. So, Angela is actually very draft dependent in my opinion. Why? If you think about it, if you pick Angela position 4, where is your magic damage gonna come from? So it could either come from your jungler, which is the only magic damage jungler right now that's pretty decent is Joy. If you don't have Joy, you cannot pick Angela. Or the magic damage is coming from your gold lane. So who are the gold laners that have magic damage? Harith and Lunox. That's about it. That's it. Harith, Lunox, what? Kimmy? Alice? That's about it. If you don't have a magic damage at the gold lane or the jungler, you're kind of screwed. That's the only way you can make Angela work. But with the right composition, this Angela position 4 is actually really, really good. Like, for example, Ling, Angela with Cho, and then Harith, gold lane, and then a really tanky XP lane. Really good. It's actually really good. Is jungler tier list coming up? I already did that last stream. You could check my previous stream. But I will, what I will do is I will clip and trim these while making this tier list, and I will upload them as a separate video. Okay. Next, we got Aurora. Easily S. Good poke. Problem is no mobility, and also probably Vexana is better than Aurora in my opinion. Vexana, like even if they come close to you, like up close, like point blank, you could still crowd control them. Whereas Aurora, if you go close to Aurora, it's kind of easy to dodge. Right? Her combo is a lot easier to dodge than Vex. Good poke, good CC. Vexana is better though, so lower than Vex. Gets really hard countered by Eve because of the poke and range. Gets hard countered by Farsa Eve. Next, Promise. S tier. Promise is S tier. With the right team comp, Promise is super good. In the late game, you could actually poke down with Promise. The team fight is insane. The problem with Promise is if you're against really tanky heroes like Gatot, Hylos, you cannot do anything early game. X-board, you're kind of screwed. That's the only thing bad part about Promise. But other than that, he's freaking good. Di ko alam. Bulalo. Nana. Good burst. Annoying second skill. Probably the same as Gord. You could kill people like pretty easily in the early stage of the game. Like somewhere here. Good poke with the first skill. Good survivability with the passive. Probably like around here. Nana, A tier. A tier. Sushin. Auto pick and ban. Sushin. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Sushin is freaking annoying. You could disrupt so many things. Even if you're an assassin, if you get stacked on, you're kind of screwed. In laning, she's super good. She can freeze a lot of mages. The only good laner that against her is Eve, pretty much. Eve could outrange her. Ban. Instant ban. Problem with Sushin, no burst. Sushin has no burst. The damage is not that surprising. Like, she doesn't deal, like, surprising damage. Yeah, even Haya has a hard time killing her with the shield and ulti. And if you have flicker, it makes it even harder. So there you go. I think that's the mage tier list. Is there anyone that I forgot? Wait. I have seen position 4 Mathilda. If you're building damage Mathilda. First of all, if you build position 4 Mathilda, you're not gonna have favor, so your heal doesn't heal as much. Your wave clear is super slow. You don't have kill potential early. Just a B. High B. You have high sustain though and high shield. High mobility. That's about it. Your laning is kinda ass. To be honest. They could freeze you and poke you down. Kinda hard laning phase. You need like a chill with her. If you wanna clear fast. Her burst could be decent with the full damage build. But you're also very squishy at that point. Because you're not gonna have favor. Very bad against Haya. Haya destroys you. Fanny destroys you too. Well, Fanny is a little bit better. Easier to deal with. Next, is there anyone else? Position 4 Saber. I've seen it. I've done it. I've drafted it. You guys remember? I'm the one who made that shit happen. But it's only a B. Position 4 Saber. Search it up. Bren versus Evos. MPL Invitational. Bren versus Evos. Game number 1. Search it up. And look who's there drafting. Search it up. You gonna see this. And guess what? We won that game. We won that game. Using their own skin. We won that game. Search it up. But yeah. Saber. Kinda slow wave clear. You can only wave clear with your first skill. You're ulti dependent. You can kill people in the early stage of the game, but after that you're kind of screwed. You fall off really hard late game. You don't have any poke. If you poke, they're gonna know where you're at. Anyways, next. Anyways, next. Who else? Who else can position 4? I think that's it, no? Please don't mention this hero. I think that's it. Beatrix position 4. I don't want to go into all the complications with marksman position 4. Let's keep it like this. Let's keep our life simple, please. Keep our life simple. You've seen Nathan mid? Oh my god, should we do it? Wait up. Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. Since he's magic damage, I'll do it. Nathan mid. 2 scaling, no mobility. Doesn't really help on turtle fights. You're gonna get screwed. But if you do scale, then you're okay. There we go. Bane. Oh yeah, I forgot about Bane. Where the frick is Bane? Bane. Good poke if you build him mage. Good damage on the ulti. But his range is super bad. You're only good at the turtle fight with your ulti. Without your ulti, you're kind of useless. You have pretty good sustain. Maybe here, low A. Decent poke, but your range is super short. No, mobility is kind of low. Kind of easy to kill, to be honest with you. Low A. Is that it? Huh? Tier list. C. Mababa. Pangat sila. Mga mahihina. Ano ba? What else? I think that's it. That's it. I'm not gonna put anymore. That's your freaking mage. Yeah, Loyan Sukshin broken. Eve Sicilian good. Farsa good. Promise good. Valentina good. Yeah, all these are like meta. All these are pretty much meta. These are like situational. These are like rarely seen. These are weird. Guinevere? No. Alright, we're good. I think that's it for now. Let's do the gold lane tier list like really quickly. Yeah? Let's do the gold lane tier list really quickly. I'll give it a couple minutes. Screenshot this. You can download that. I can? I don't know. Alright, gold lane. Gold lane, gold lane, gold lane. Beatrix. S. Good laning. Good damage. Problem is, you cannot use Purify. You probably need Flicker. Good burst. Good poke with a sniper. S. Brody. Good laning, bad mobility. Good laning, bad mobility. Brody. Probably still S in my opinion. God damn it. Still S. Pretty good against Fanny, but against heroes like Tigreal, you kind of get destroyed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Atlas, Tigreal, you get destroyed. Lucas, you get destroyed. Terisla, you get destroyed. Povius, you get destroyed. Glue, you get destroyed. Like, it's like a borderline A, to be honest with you. Low S. Bruno. Bruno's good. S. Better than Beatrix. Good laning. Problem is only single target. Good sustain with Hoskclaw. Claude. Not a big fan of Claude right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Laning is not too good. Scaling is way too much. Like, the scaling takes way too long, in my opinion. You don't get useful until like the later stage of the game. You're more of a split pusher type of marksman. And a lot of XP laners are taking vengeance. So you're kind of screwed. Claude A. Clint. In my opinion, Clint is even better than Claude. Maybe even better than Brody. Clint has some type of mobility with second skill. I'm gonna be honest with you. He hurts too, early game. If you hit all your first skills. Oh my god. This tier list is starting to look like a bunch of S. Jesus Christ. How are we gonna do this? Wait. Maybe like that. Like that. Yeah, like that. There we go. This is a lot better. Top attack sweat, hello. How about hero non-MM in Golden? Seems like Sun in Golden. Yeah, I'll talk about that too. Give me a second. Anyways, yeah. S. Hanabi. C. Only good with Lolita. Or Diggy. Other than that, she's ass. Irithel, S. Good AoE damage. Scales pretty late. Good sustain. Good mobility with sprint. You can even use Purify. But Bruno's probably better, in my opinion. Irithel. With Mathilda, she's really good. Can get into the backline also. Granger. Good poke. High damage. If you have a lot of stacks, you can literally spam your first skill. He freaking hurts. Granger's broken. With Sky Piercer, you could literally poke down enemy to death. Broken. Actually. Aldous. C. 2 scaling. Laning phase, hard. Easy to counter. Crowd control. Melee. Hard. Argus, I'm putting him at C for now. Putting him at C. But I have like a I have like an imagination with Argus, but I don't want to share it to the... Well, I already said it before. Argus could low-key be a really good hero at the gold lane. Split push, like ultimate split push type. You're just gonna split push and kill yourself. Freaking Argus. Surprisingly, I have seen CC gold lane. I'm not a big fan. Better than Argus, better than Aldous, better than Hanabi. Maybe even B, to be honest with you. Gold lane Esmeralda. I've seen it. Better than Aldous in my opinion. It's usually to counter Harith, but you cannot even counter Harith in the late stage of the game. Even if you have all that shield. He literally bursts you down. C. Ixia. B. Decent laning. No mobility. If you get dived, which a lot of heroes can dive, a lot of assassins, Lucas could go to you, you're screwed. You need like a Mathilda with Ixia if you want her to work. Carry. A. Good burst. 2 scaling though. Decent mobility. 2 scaling. You need DHS, Corrosion Sight, Golden Staff if you want her to deal a shit ton of damage. A. Layla. B. I can't believe I put Layla at B. B. No mobility but has really high range. Very scaling. Very easy to kill. No mobility. She hurts a lot in the late game though. B. Hard to kill. Because of her range. She has a little bit of stun with her second skill. But that's about it. B. Leslie. B. Also mobility problem. B. Probably Layla's better. Yeah, Layla's better. Oh. Melissa. Also mobility problem. You're like a full commit type of marksman. Good laning, but you get poked down by Granger. And Irithel could literally counter you. Just sprint out of her second skill. Bruno could outlane you if he dashes correctly. Beatrix could literally reach you with her sniper. Clint could outpoke you with first skill. But actually, Melissa could win laning against Clint. Carrie and Brody. But she's still a B. Just because of her mobility is so bad. She has a dash, but your dash gives you attack speed. You have your ulti to kind of protect you, but other than that, you pretty much have to use Inspire to make her have output. Damage output. Right there. Really good against Faramis though. Mia. B. Also a mobility problem. High survivability. You're probably gonna use Inspire with her. But without your ulti, you're kind of screwed. It only works. It's like a solo queue pub stomper. Just like Layla. Let them be right next to each other. The faces of Mlbb. Moskov. S. Good split push. You could go into turtle fights with your ulti if you hit your spear. Pretty good. Late game is insane. Late game damage is insane. Good sustain as well. You could pretty much blink like every 3 seconds if you keep auto attacking. S. Low S. Better than Beatrix. Better than Beatrix. 1-1. 1-1 right now since there's a lot of Irithel. There's a lot of heroes. Everybody could build Winter Truncheon, no problem. 1-1 is A. Probably better than Brody. In my opinion, 1-1. 2 scaling. Kinda hard in the laning phase. You get destroyed in the laning phase. And your tower siege is not too good. You're so slow at taking towers, just like Irithel. You cannot do Lord Pass. A. Mid A. Roger. Roger A. Good laning. But he lacks damage as a gold lane. Especially in the late game if there's like a Hylos, Gatotkaca, and stuff like that. He lacks damage in the gold lane. Just an A. Just good laning. Good survivability with wolf form. Just A. Sun. Same thing as Argus. I can see the potential. I really could see the potential. Like they're like close B, to be honest with you. They're probably right there. They're better than all these right there. They're close B. Split push monsters. These two right here. Split push monsters. I can imagine like something with these two. But it's hard to execute. People need to be open-minded if you want to make these two work. Okay? You guys are not going to believe what I'm going to put. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, and people have done it to us. People have done it to us. X-Borg gold lane. B. Very draft dependent. Very scaling. Laning wise, you can get outpoked by Bruno. I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, I'm not lying to you. I swear to God. I've seen it. And it's also a very popular team that used it against us. You guys know the team. You guys know the team. The X-Borg gold lane is not recent, but they've used it against us. Phoveus gold lane to counter 1-1? No, it doesn't. Phoveus doesn't work like that anymore. Phoveus doesn't work like that. It's not the old Phoveus where you can counter 1-1. It's not the same. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm gonna put him in the gold lane. Zilong. Trash. It's like a nerf version of these two. You just run away. Very single dimensional gameplay. Single target. Easy to kill. Anyways, yeah. C tier. Freaking Zilong. Even better scaling. Aldous even has better scaling than Zilong. Who else? Gold lane. Masha. I've seen it. Masha. Also a split push. Easier to kill though, but freaking hard damage at the late game. Laning phase is horrible. C. Popol. Single target, good laning phase. Trash mid game to late game. Falls off really hard late game. B. Only B. Can siege towers pretty well. B. Better than X-Borg. Who else? Lunox. S. Lunox is S. You can actually counter Harith with Lunox. Counter Harith with Lunox. Freya. B. Freya's B. She hurts, but very crowd control heavy. What's it called? Countered by crowd control. B. Low B. Low B. Freya. She hurts, but just because you deal a lot of damage doesn't mean you're a good gold laner. Laning, you're probably gonna get poked, to be honest with you. Next. Mamaya na, saglit. Who else could gold lane here? Yeah, I've seen it. You guys will be surprised. Changa. A. A. I've seen it. Chango gold lane with weakness finder. Insane. Good damage. Wind talker. Insane. It's actually pretty annoying. Really good in laning. I'm gonna be honest with you. What match was it again, Coach? Bren versus Evos game 1. Bren versus Evos game 1. MPLI. Next. Nathan. 2 scaling. He's more like here. Kinda like a Claude. Decent mobility with ulti. He hurts late game, but it's 2 scale. 2 scaling for me. He's like a close A. Horrible laning phase, by the way. But he does freaking hurt. And he could counter like heroes like X-Borg. Maybe a little bit better than Claude, in my opinion. You know what? Maybe Nathan, yeah, could go here. Like that. Nathan could go here. Kimi. Kimi's 2 scaling. Good laning phase, but 2 scaling. Like right here. Mobility is a problem. And her range is not as far as Layla, so...
Diyan lang pala yung MDL qualifiers, no?
Saan?
Diyan sa Talo gago.
Ah, saan talo?
May Robinson doon.
Panoorin natin. Kimi. Good poke, but the burst is not that much. It's just a lot of poking. These two have a lot of burst, and this one's AoE. AoE with like a high, you know, longer range. Who else? Harris. Picker ban. Picker ban. Harris. Really good gold lane right now. Really good laning phase. You get your items pretty fast at the gold lane. Sometimes you don't even need blue, but it's better to have blue on Harris gold. You still ran out of mana. Like no matter what you build, Harris late game is really annoying, especially Purify. Sicilian gold lane. Now that you mention it, we've actually done it before. Personally, like team experience, we've done it before, but it was okay. Where's Sicilian? Oh, there he is. Wait up. I'm not done yet. Let's go with the ones I see first. Wait up. Alice gold lane. 2 scaling. And you can get countered by a lot of marksmen since you're squishy to marksmen, obviously. Laning phase is super hard. Probably like here. And you need the right team comp for her. She's ranged, but her range is super short, and you need to be up close and personal if you want to deal a lot of damage. You need like a Florine or Mathilda to make her work. Alice gold lane. Sicilian. You're right. I have seen Sicilian gold lane, and we have done it before. 2 scaling as a gold lane. I would say it's better as a mid laner, because at a mid laner you could actually like first skill blue buffs, you could first skill red buffs, you know, the jungle creeps and stuff like that. On the gold lane you only have one jungle creep to first skill, which is like either the double green or the lizard, which is only one creep, which is not worth it. And as a mid laner you constantly poke as a mid laner, but as a gold laner you cannot constantly poke since your enemy is also playing it safe in their range. So only a B tier. Probably like right here. Like Alice. Like same concept as Alice. Hellcurt gold lane? People play Hellcurt gold lane? Wait up. All this? Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Alice. Nah. Okay, gold lane. Nobody does YSS gold lane. I've seen it. Paquito. Good damage, good clear. And Paquito could actually roam. And if you draft it correctly, it's actually not too bad. Probably a Mlbb. Better than Xborg in my opinion. Better than Freya in my opinion. Better than Sicilian in my opinion. Better than Alice in my opinion. Better than Popol in my opinion. The problem is, you guys are not gonna have range to siege towers. He hurts, but he's more of like an assassin. He turns into an assassin. Bayad na yun. What else? Gold lane. I think that's it. We're done. Hellcurt? People really play Hellcurt. Here we go. Aether. Arlot. I have seen Arlot damage build at the gold lane. B tier, low B tier. Nah. C tier. Laning phase is hard. You don't have range. Your damage hurts late game, but you're melee and you're easily countered by CC. Crowd controlled. So, yeah, C tier. Who else? Harley gold lane? I've never seen that. You guys have seen some weird stuff in solo queue. Hanzo. I think that's it. I think that's it, boys. That's it. That's all the gold lane I can think of. YSS gold lane, please don't do it. I'm not gonna put it on a tier list. I don't want people doing it. I've seen this. Yuzhong. Kind of like the same concept as Arlot, but I think Arlot is a little bit better in my opinion. Ruby. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Ruby has been in the gold lane. You're right. Ruby damage, Skylar. This is like draft situational. Ruby. Very situational. Like really good against Harris. Harris Lunox. Yeah, really good against Harris Lunox. But if you get poked by Granger, you're kind of screwed. B, high B. Ruby, high B. Yo, the real deal, been a while. What's up? Lilia Gold. I have seen Lilia Gold. You're right. You are right. Lilia Gold. That is the thing. You're not lying. I have seen it. Good wave clear, but easy to dodge since you cannot really poke your enemies since they're ranged as well at the laning phase. Good laning. But I would say like right here, also scaling as like Sicilian. Like a low B. Low B. Good laning. Tower push, kind of slow. Poke is good. Yeah, low B. Haya Gold, I've never seen that. Before, it was like the really, really old Haya. That's the only Haya Gold I've seen. But Haya now, he cannot do that. He needs blue buff, I think. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Do you guys want me to go into the complications? Like, freaking Farsa Gold? I've seen it. I've seen it, I've done it. Seen it, I've done it. Farsa Gold. Kinda like a Sicilian as well, but a little bit better. Good poke. Good mobility with a bird. A little bit better than Popol in my opinion. Freaking Farsa Gold. Not gonna lie, you have kill potential early. And outranges a lot of people. Mincetar. Oh yeah, you're right. Mincetar could gold. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. Mincetar. Where's Mincetar? Where's Mincy? There he is. Mincetar. Laning phase kinda hard. Ulti dependent. And usually a lot of marksmen don't even have dashes. Usually. Just really good against 1-1 I guess. And Harris. Maybe like right here. Less than Popol. Less than Popol. Lobby. Savior Gold? Hellcurt Gold? People do that? God damn it. I guess. Savior Gold, same thing as Sicilian. Scaling. No mobility. You kinda just stay in lane and farm. Same thing. Sicilian. They stay next to each other. Who else? I think that's it, guys. Hellcurt Gold? Are you serious? I've never seen that. Hellcurt roams now. Especially after the revamp. I think that's it. Fighters that can go gold lane? Nah, that's it. Before Phoveus could, but now with the revamp, cannot. I think that's it. I'm not gonna go into any more complications. I think this is good enough. So, as you can see, the gold lane is kind of unbalanced right now. These are like the meta heroes. These right here. You would see them in tournaments. These ones, barely. Barely at all. These ones, you know what? We need to put Claude up here. Like a low A. There we go. Low A. There we go. That's a little bit better. Layla, higher. There we go. That's a little bit better. There we go. Bane. You're right, Bane. Where's Bane? Didn't I already put Bane? Bane gold lane, I've seen it. Good poke with the first skill. Physical damage Bane. Also scaling, pretty good team fight. Good first skill, good sustain on the second skill. Bane is actually not bad. Actually, to be honest, like he's like somewhere here. Like somewhere here. High B. I'll be honest with you. Bane is like almost like a Changa. Not bad. Bane is actually not bad. Not that bad. Is this ranked list or tourney list? This is like tourney list. Tourney list. Julian Gold. Nobody does Julian Gold. Come on. I've never seen it. XP Julian I could understand, but Julian Gold? I've never seen it. Anyways. Next. Anything else? I think that's it. I don't want to put anyone else there. Let's stop with all the complications. All the complications. Do I really need to rank YSS just because he's a marksman? Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Right there. That's where YSS goes. See? Put him in the jungle. He's better in the jungle. There we go. That's our tier list. Gold lane. No more complications. Bane is better than me. Yes! Yes! Serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. Sion. Try it out. Physical damage Bane. Well, people have done it to us. So I know. I've seen Banes in scrims. Gold lane. And I've never seen a Mia in scrims. I mean, no, I have seen Mia in scrims, but not as much as Bane. Cyclops Gold? I've never seen that. No. We're not going to any more complications. This is it. We're not changing anymore. This is it. Take a screenshot if you want. Take a screenshot. Okay, we're good. This is based off my experience, my opinion. So if you guys have a problem with it, I'm sorry, man. Yeah. You know, take a screenshot. And I think we're done with everything. So if you guys are looking for the jungler tier list and the XP lane tier list, that was yesterday. I already did that yesterday. So yeah, you can look at my previous stream and you can see it. Okay? Yeah, I think it's enough. Anyways, I think we're done with all the tier lists. So I'm probably gonna end my stream now, and I'm gonna. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim or clip these tier lists, and I'm gonna upload it as a video. Like for example, while I'm making my XP lane tier list, I'm gonna trim that and clip it. I'm not gonna trim in between. I'm just gonna cut it and then upload it as a video, and then you guys could watch it and skip through it if you want. But it's gonna, if it's okay with you guys, the videos are like 40 minutes to an hour long, because it takes so long to just go one by one, and I'm making it with you guys live, right? So you guys see me making the tier list live, so you guys can hear all my opinions about a specific hero. If you want to watch the whole thing by me explaining all this stuff, then go ahead. But if you guys want to go like through it, you want to go through the tier list fast, you can skip through it. Yeah, Changi A tier, but you need a specific build for her. You need a specific build. I think it's Feather Windtalker, and I forgot if she has a golden staff. I forgot if she has a golden staff, but I think it's Feather Windtalker. That's from what I remember. And she might have golden staff. Try that build with weakness finder. Really good. Try it out. Yeah. Anyways, Gushin, GS. Golden staff too. Anyways, that's it for today's stream. I'm gonna cut and trim these videos and upload them for you guys. I have to make a thumbnail and everything, so I need some time to edit and stuff. I don't have an editor like the other YouTubers, so with critical or attack speed build. Attack speed. So Feather has attack speed. Feather of Heaven has attack speed. Windtalker has attack speed. You're not for the Windtalker. You're going for the movement speed. You're not going for the crit. And then for the golden staff, you're going for the passive. It's like it procs a lot faster. So yeah. Try it out. It actually really hurts. And do not use your second skill too often. Only use your second skill if you don't have shield. Try it out. It could work. It's really good in laning, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't have much time today, Sion. I have to edit. Like I said, I have to cut. I have to record again. I have to edit. I have to make a thumbnail. I have to eat. I haven't ate yet today, so I probably don't have time to play one more. Anyways, yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, I cannot stream tomorrow, by the way. I cannot stream tomorrow. I have an event to go to. I have to go to my... there's like a family thing with my girlfriend. So I cannot stream tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I can stream again on Monday. Yeah, I'm streaming again on Monday. So I'm not going to be able to stream this weekend. I'm sorry. Good thing I remembered to hit you guys up in advance. Or tell you guys in advance. So my next stream is going to be on Monday. So it's going to be on February 3. Yeah, that's my next stream. February 3. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow and Sunday. Anyways, have a good weekend, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.